Hey guys, welcome back. So what you're looking at here is the Asus ROG Strix Scar 15. There is also a 17 variant, but the one we're going to review today is the Scar 15. Now in so many ways, the Scar 15 is an absolute beast, alright? Now this has an Intel 10th generation 10875 chip. So that's 8 cores and 16 threads, by the way. So all you graphic designers, 3D modelers, and even video editors, if you're looking for something portable and really powerful, this might actually be worth a look. Now this also has 16 gigabytes of RAM, that's 3200 MHz RAM, so that's pretty cool. You get 1 terabyte SSD, and what should have been the centerpiece is this display. Now this display is a full HD display, but the amazing thing about it is that it goes all the way up to 300 Hz, right? So it has a refresh rate of 300 Hz, that's gotta be one of, if not the fastest you will get on any laptop. Now this is not a TN panel, right? You're looking at an IPS panel, okay? So because of that, you also get good color reproduction, and yeah, it was pretty good. According to my test, I got very close to about 100% of the Adobe sRGB color gamut, as well as close to 80% for DCI-P3. Now for graphics, alright, so this beast has an RTX 2070 Super, which is amazing. And actually in the Scar 17, you get an RTX 2080. Now first of all, like I said, now I've always said this in all of my Asus unboxing, and Asus always absolutely nails the unboxing experience. Opening up the laptop is really cool. You get that same lift. You get a whole bunch of accessories, but we'll talk about the accessories a bit later on. Now for I/O, so on the left, you get 3 USB Type A ports, you get an audio combo jack, and at the back you get your charging port, a full-size HDMI 2.0B port, as well as a USB Type C. Now on the right hand side of the laptop, you don't get any ports, and I feel like Asus should have added it. The only thing you get on the right side is a port to put this in. Alright, so this is the Asus Keystone, or specifically for this Scar, it is the Asus Keystone 2. Now this Keystone is very unique to this line of products from Asus. I'm pretty sure no other brand has something similar. So basically what this does, it's sort of like your saved profile in some way. So all your settings for certain applications, your settings for your games. You also get this thing called Shadow Drive. So when you plug it in, it activates Shadow Drive, or allows you to read your Shadow Drive. So in a way, you could sort of consider this a key fob. And of course, taking it out from the laptop also puts it into sort of a stealth mode, encrypts the Shadow Drive so you can't access it. Now honestly, this falls very much into the gimmick category. I don't think there's a reason for this. Pretty much everything that it's supposed to do, I'm pretty sure that it could be done software-wise. There's really no need for this. And honestly, if any of you guys have this already, let me know. But I feel like almost everybody who buys a laptop put this in once and probably never takes it out or never puts it in. Oh, and by the way, about that Shadow Drive function with this Keystone, now that Shadow Drive function does not work with Windows 10 Home, which almost everyone is going to choose. Now, if you want Windows 10 Pro, you can, which is what it needs. You would have to pay more for Windows 10 Pro, which is, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So if you have to pay more for it, I don't really see the point of it. So I personally hope that Asus does away with this. But then again, if a lot of you guys use it, then that's fine. Now, if you look at the display, you realize there's quite a big gap at about 3/4 of the bottom of the panel. And honestly, I'm still on the fence whether I like it or not. To me, it doesn't bother me that much. I was wondering why they did it. I thought it was purely aesthetic. But then I realized when you close the laptop, you can still see all your LEDs, like whether it's being charged and all that. So I guess that's good, but I mean, they could have put it somewhere else where you could have seen it anyway. So, but it definitely adds to the design aesthetic, but I'm kind of on the fence. I don't hate it and I don't love it either. Now, what I do love though is this keyboard. Now, in terms of functionality, it's pretty good as a chiclet keyboard. It does what it does really well, nothing fantastic. But the RGB is just incredible. It's so vibrant, it's so bright. Now, a lot of keyboards have RGB obviously, but this is probably one of the best that they've done, which is refreshing, because if you saw my review of the Asus Zephyrus G14, I thought the RGB on that was pretty poor and also inconsistent. This is fantastic. Alright, Asus, good job on this, and I hope you carry this level of RGB throughout your other line of gaming laptops. Now, speaking of RGB, at the keyboard, that's not the only one. So at the back panel of the laptop, you get the big Asus ROG in full RGB. Of course, that can be deactivated with the Aura Creator software. But not just that, at the bottom of the laptop, you actually get RGB panel, an RGB strip throughout the entire the front and the two sides, going all the way around. And I was going to put that under gimmicky as well, but actually the more I used it, it actually is pretty cool. And not just cool, it's a very good implementation of it. Just like the keyboard, the colors are excellent, it's really bright. I would say right now, in terms of all gaming laptops from any brand, this is the best implementation of RGB and the best quality. Now, like I mentioned, this is an amazing panel, alright, at 300Hz refresh rate on IPS, alright. This is not a TN panel, so that's amazing. Good color reproduction, excellent viewing angles, and a refresh rate of 300Hz. Now, that's amazing. The problem is that it's not G-Sync compatible, which is peculiar. Now, I know it's expensive to have a G-Sync panel with the G-Sync module, but it's not even G-Sync compatible. It's not even AMD FreeSync compatible. There is no variable refresh rate that I can tell. Now, honestly, playing games on it, I did not notice any tearing. I will say that, so maybe there's an argument to be made that there really isn't a need, but for a gaming laptop, the standard now is you must have either G-Sync compatible, be it a G-Sync panel, or even AMD. I think that is a must. Now, like I said, even though it doesn't have any G-Sync or AMD FreeSync, playing esports titles was pretty good. I didn't notice any tearing on esports titles or even AAA titles. It was a really good experience, and having this sort of performance and experience on a gaming laptop was amazing. Oh, and I forgot to mention another amazing thing about this laptop is I believe it is the only laptop, or at least the only one that I heard of for a mass-produced laptop, to actually use liquid metal for their CPU. That's amazing, okay? Because liquid metal is a bit more expensive, but it is a great conductor of heat, great dissipator of heat. Now, one problem with liquid metal is that, you know, if you use it on a desktop and you use it for a long time, taking the cooler out of the CPU can be a bit of a problem if you're using liquid metal. But I mean, it's a laptop, you're not going to take out the CPU, so it is a perfect use for liquid metal, and because of that, you actually get really good thermals. Alright, so let's talk about the price. So the Asus ROG Strix Scar 15, the one I have over here, with the specs that I mentioned earlier, comes in at about 3,698 Singapore dollars. So is it worth that money? I actually think yes. Despite the fact that it doesn't have G-Sync or AMD FreeSync, it is still, I would say, a good value, and not just good value for gamers, even content producers, you know, video editors, graphic designers, anything that requires multi-core processing, even 3D modeling if you work with AutoCAD. It is actually a good option. With the kind of specs, you would get similar prices elsewhere, but you still get Asus, you know, extremely good build quality. For the gamers, you get really good RGB, really good performance again. And one thing I didn't mention earlier is that if you buy this laptop, you actually get a whole bunch of accessories. Now you get an Asus ROG backpack, alright? You also get the Asus ROG Delta headset, which is pretty good. You get the Asus ROG Gladius 2 mouse, and you also get a webcam, because this particular laptop, if you look at it closely, it does not have a built-in webcam. So they actually give you the Asus ROG Eye webcam, which is a 1080p webcam, and I would actually say pretty good. So all these other accessories are also included in the price, and so I would say for the entire bundle, it's actually pretty good. Now, like I mentioned, I'm not a fan of this Keystone, but I mean, having it there doesn't make the laptop worse. So it doesn't affect any performance or all that, so I will probably just not use it at all. Alright, so that about wraps up my review of the Asus ROG Strix Scar 15. Now, if you like this video, you know what to do, and I would love it if you would subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications on our next video. I'm JP, and I'll see you real soon.